Hello, Level Engine here, making a video on how you can actually insert ExGFX into your ROM hack in case you couldn't find another tutorial video or you just wanted to see me explain this. Either way, just sit back and relax and I'll explain how this is done. First things first, I made a new folder and a new copy of a Super Mario World file called test.rom. For the purpose of this video series, so I'm probably going to make more tutorials, I'm just going to use this ROM for the sake of testing. Right here, test.rom.smc, it is open right now in Lunar Magic. That's all it's in this folder right now. That's going to change. First things first, I'm just going to start clean. You probably might have actually already made changes to your ROM file already, so let's say if you didn't do anything ExGFX wise, you didn't touch the graphics, first thing you'd want to do is hit this button, this button, this button, this button, all in order from left to right. This is generally what I like to do to get all my ExGFX ready, and just my GFX files. But first, there's also general options. You can choose not to do this, but I like to have all my plain GFX files be separate from each other because I remember by hex numbers what graphics belong to what file. For example, 1A has the cave tile set, 1.5 has this grass tile set, I think 1.6 has mushroom tile set, 1.8 has castle tile set. You get the idea. I just remember the numbers, and for me it's easier to find what I want in case I want to take graphics from the original Super Mario World and just play with them a bit. So this is what I do. And then I'm just going to hit the buttons in this order. So you want to extract and then insert. Then extract the ExGFX, and then insert the ExGFX. Then these folders should have appeared. This has nothing to do with it. This is Lunar Magic Restore. These are restore points that you just work on your ROM hack. In case you screw something up, you break your ROM, you can just rewind back to a restore point, but that's off topic. The ExGFX folder is the ExGFX. This is extra graphics on top of the original. These were part of the original Super Mario World. So yeah, as you can see, I didn't do join GFX files, so you can see GFX files 00 through 33. And the ExGFX folder is empty because there's no ExGFX inserted yet. These two things are very different. This is just added on to Super Mario World's original graphics. This is Super Mario World's original graphics. So yeah, I've set these to open by default in YYCHR. If you haven't done this, just right click and set it to open with YYCHR. You could do open with, and then just select, say, YYCHR if you haven't done this already. And then that should be permanent for as long as you use your computer. So as I said earlier, yes, this is the grass tile set, but it has this default palette here, so you do not necessarily want this if you're working with the graphics. It makes it hard to do so if all the colors are wonky, but yes, you can see that it's that same tile set I was talking about in level 105, Yoshi's Island 1. It's right here. Likewise, this is the castle tile set, 1.8. Cave tile set, mushroom tile set, just showing you that I still know all of this, or most of what I really felt like I needed to know back then. So if you want to add new graphics to your ROM hack, but want to make sure you leave all the original ones unchanged, you'll probably want to work with the ExGFX. For example, you can always just take a copy of an original GFX file, rename it to ExGFX, and then starting from 8.0, that's how ExGFX files are ordered and counted. You can just name it something like that and then insert it. So for example, I'm going to go and just make a copy of the grass tile set and play around with it a bit, and not actually screw up the grass tile set that's already in Super Mario World by taking 1.5 and copying it into the ExGFX folder. And yes, all of this is case sensitive. You have to type this E here, uppercase. This X has to be lowercase. Then these letters have to be uppercase. If you don't do it, they won't insert properly. And your numbers can be in hex, but they have to start at 8.0. 8-1, 8-2, 8-9, 8A, 8B, C, D, E, F. I'm just showing you how to count in hex. 9A, 9B, C, D, E, 9F, A0, A1, A2, A3. You get the idea. If you don't, you can always look it up. I'll just put 8-0 because that's where it starts. I'm going to go ahead and set it to 4BPP SNES because we are working with a Super Nintendo game here. I've actually already done this, but I loaded the palette off of a save state. If you don't have this yet, just open up a level in Super Mario World and drop a save state in the level, because if you do this on the overworld, you'll get a different palette entirely, which is not ideal for editing level graphics. So we're going to edit level graphics, so we want to have a save state ready in a level to load a palette from, so that we can get something we can easily recognize and be familiar with. So I'm looking at some graphics here, seeing if there's any changes I want to make to it. Seeing if maybe I should add something cool to this tile set. I'm looking for some inspiration here right now, trying to think. Maybe we could use some new bushes. Can always draw them out here and then put them back in the top half later, but I don't know what I want to do. Give me some time to think about it. So I'm just going to play around with the tile set a bit. Actually swap a few colors because I'm going to just show you what I can do with this. So let's just say we want to create some new tiles. Let's try this for size. So you can just feel free to play around with this however you want. Yeah, it's definitely going to take time to getting used to doing stuff like this, but believe me, it's fun once you get the hang of it. So I'm just going to try and make some modifications to the grass tile set and then just insert them and show you how this is actually done. So I'll just speed this part of the video up because it's going to be me playing around and wow, I see a char. Okay, we'll just work with this. I'm just going to make a few more. Okay, maybe I should just have some more of this dirt, but it doesn't. Maybe I should have more of this pink dirt without anything on it, just in case. Okay, not only did I move all the custom tiles to the top, I also removed duplicates to save space because you do not want to have duplicate tiles because you could easily just copy them for map 16 purposes. And if you have duplicate tiles, you're just going to be wasting space in all honesty, so you obviously do not want to do that. So I cut out a bunch of them, and this is what I have left. I've compressed it to a smaller area, but this is it. So once you're done in the ExGFX file, it should be saved. Then you hit quick insert ExGFX the ROM. ExGFX insertion complete. Then you hit the red poison mushroom. And for the level you're doing this for, you'll want to just click this box saying enable bypass of standard. Yeah, you're going to bypass the standard foreground, background, the effects, so on and so forth. And there are two slots here that say skip file. I don't really care if they're intended for background, but they both say skip file. So I like to just use those first because you're not overwriting anything that was previously there if you do this. I'm going to go ahead to an empty map 16 spot. Let's start at page 3. Page 2, you get, I don't know what happens on page 2, but I prefer not to start there. Then again, I like to use page 3 for a more global, less specific map 16 page where there's just tiles that can be used for multiple general purposes, like pipes, bullet bill shooters, so on and so forth. Question blocks, maybe of different colors. I like putting the more general purpose stuff on this page, so I'll just go to page 4 because that's what I'm comfortable with. I'll just make a different color just to highlight it so I can tell it is obviously page 4. So I can tell exactly where I'm working right now. So I view the 8x8 tile selector, and since I did the insertion properly, here are the new tiles. Now I'm going to go and actually look at my palette. I'm going to enable a custom palette because I don't want to overwrite anything in the original game. So if you want to change palette to not overwrite anything, click this. So now I'm just going to go start inserting these tiles. So the first step is usually just to place all the tiles where you want them to be placed. And then you have to change their map 16 numbers because right now everything here acts like a cement block, but it's not. So a quick trick to remember map 16 tiles: 100 for ledges, 100 for anything that's a ledge. That'll be a ledge. We're just going to, okay, I think 8 is the vine. No, it's the climbing net. Close enough, but what was the vine tile? If I look up here, 6 is the vine tile. So if I want that to be climbable, I can set it to 6. But the top wouldn't be climbable. And if it was, then you wouldn't be able to stand on it. So I'll just set it to 2-5. That'll be the air tile. Or 3F for the dirt tile. If you have directional coins in your level, I think you'll want to set it to 3F because you don't want your directional coins just pass through that. So for the purpose of this, we'll set it to 3F. These are dirt tiles you can walk through. Directional coins can't pass through them, but most of the time you can set these to also act like 2-5. These are pretty much air tiles, and you'll be fine. F9 to save the map 16 data. Actually, no, I can't because I have Camtasia open, so I don't know how to do this without just hitting F9. I can hit the save button. You can use F9, but if you're recording with Camtasia Studio and that's one of your hotkeys, then it won't let you use it. It'll be overridden by Camtasia Studio. So yeah, F9 saves map 16 data to ROM, or you hit this button. Now that I have my custom graphics, let's put some in. Now we have them as map 16 tiles, let's just drag and drop some into the level. This part is super easy to do. Have our funky little vine tiles. Just because I had no idea what to draw on such short notice. I just wanted to give you an idea of, okay, this is how you do it. Doesn't really matter as to what I actually draw for now. This is just to explain, okay, how you actually do this. Maybe a bit of also... Yeah, I guess these are fine too, I don't know. This is like what happens when you do things on such short notice. You're not sure what you're doing. Okay, I might actually use this tile set in the future, I don't know. That is, if I can actually clean it up and make it look somewhat decent, then I might actually do it. Also, I moved the pallets over here. Fun fact, these pallets right here are only ever used on the berries that are put on bushes. If you don't plan on using those berries, go ahead and play with these. And here, it's just all black. This is never used in the original Super Mario, so you have a lot more palette space than you think if you know how to use it. So since I was actually working with colors F, E, D, and C, so on and so forth, if I change these colors and I set it to palette 2 in the map 16 tiles, then that's what will get changed. Now I turn the ledge blue. This actually looks kind of beautiful. I'm gonna have to actually... I think I'm actually gonna use this in the near future. I don't care if it's ugly now, kind of, but... nothing a little work can't fix. And now I'm just gonna open this up in ZMZ and play around in it. Okay, so I've opened up the test ROM in an emulator, ZMZ being my preferred emulator of choice right now. So I did not change anything. This was a clean ROM at the start of this video. And the only things that are going to get changed in it are going to be for the sake of these tutorial videos. Let's just speed things up and go straight to Yoshi's Island 1. And you will see the ledges now. And since I remember my map 16 numbers, they work as intended. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to walk through them. I would actually just stop dead in my tracks right here if, say, I left it all as 130. And I would just hit my head on this little corner ledge here. This diagonal slant on the ledge, I just hit my head on it, wouldn't pass through it. Wouldn't be able to walk through. You can pass through the top, not the bottom. That's 100. 130 is a solid block. 25 is there. 3F is a dirt tile you can walk through. Directional coins, things of that kind of nature, couldn't pass through it. Yeah, those are probably the most important map 16 numbers to remember. Yeah, I'm going over map 16 because that's also used in the ExGFX. But that is when you're actually putting the tiles together to actually put them in the hack. If you're not building levels, just doing graphics, you're not going to need the map 16 part. Okay, so I hope this helped you. If you want to see any more information on the ExGFX insertion, you can ask for another video where I actually go and download some graphics from Super Mario Central and walk you through the process of inserting those. But this is kind of just a really dumbed down, watered down version of how to insert ExGFX. I didn't want to include too much outside of it, but I kind of had to talk about map 16 because that is part of it. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you like, you can ask for more.